Well, I hope that's live. No, I'm still working on that diorama that I've been working on for a while. And what I'm going to add today is the outside border. It goes along about like this. And this is foam board that's, I think this is an eighth of an inch thick. It could be a quarter inch. And this is available from any art supply store, Hobby Lobby, someplace like that. But something you might want to ask when you go in for this stuff is see if they have any scraps that they just got to, cut off for a frame or something like that. And you'll save a few bucks that way. So what I do is I just take this and line it up to the sides of the diorama like so. And I'm going to move this out before I knock this stuff over. So I can kind of move it back and forth as I need to, because I know I'm going to be doing that. And then, you can see I have it kind of cut over, and that'll come into play here in a few minutes. So what we do is it's quite simple to attach these. The lining up is the hard part. Is just use some hot glue along the edges. And we place this up how we want it to sit. And I've got this particular one kind of running flush with the diorama base itself, as I'm going to be running a small fence along each side. And then we flip it around. And I knew something was going to fall. And this is where I was talking about how I've got, and we snip this up with just a pair of scissors, so that when I put the foam board up, it's going to kind of go flush with everything else. A little bit underneath is not going to cause too much of a problem. And then we take our other piece and we're going to line it up over here. Now, the reason I have it overlapping is because the next pieces that will go here, I want those to slide in kind of tight. Make sure our glue gun's got a good load, because I ran out on that last little bit. And then we run a nice bead of glue along this edge. And once again, take this and place it up against the base. And let that doesn't take long to set up, because it actually melts into that foam too. And then we move over to where we're going to be adding these pieces. And since I want them to fit kind of tight inside, I've waited to cut them. And I'm just make a small little pencil mark where I'm going to make my cut. And use the X-Acto knife. And just make hopefully what'll be a clean cut. And we're going to slide this into place on the back. And again, using the hot glue, run a nice bead and try to make it kind of angled up and down so that you get a pretty good spread of the hot glue. Be sure to get quite a bit over into the corners so that it mounts up nice into the. And then that's going to slip into place like so. And we're ready to flip this around and add the other piece to the other side. And once again, I'm going to line it up. You can see I got a little ding on this side. So I'm going to cut that piece off actually. And again, I'm going to take the pencil and cut, keeping in mind to get it so that it fits tightly up against the other pieces. And we make the cut. Always do a test fit, make sure it's going to go in right, how you want it. And then again, we use the hot glue. Adding a pretty fair amount, especially along the corners. And then we take this piece and we put it into place. Now what this serves as well as, and I'll be painting this, is inside here where the resin will be poured. It will actually hold the resin in place along both edges. And it won't run all over the table when you go to pour. And since I'll be adding more along in here, I'll hit this with a little more hot glue to help close that up a little bit. But in the meantime, I didn't get a very good lineup right here. And that's what's nice about this, using this foam board. It flexes kind of nicely. So I take a little shot of hot glue and put it right in that little corner right there. And then I just press this up against there, wipe a little of that hot glue off so that it'll take the paint without being a bump. And let that sit, hold that tight up against there for a few minutes. Giving it a chance to set up. And then we need to trim the other pieces down. And again, we fall back to the X-Acto knife, line up on the inside edge, and use kind of a sawing motion. Go down so that it lines up with the other piece. And on this side, I'm going to come up. And the foam board's pretty easy to cut. And I kind of glue that back on. That's not a big deal. And once again, trimming here. And trimming on this side. Again, using that sawing motion. And then we do a little bit of cleanup here and there. where that paper pulled apart. This little drop. Oops. And that's good. And then we pull this up and give it a little bit of glue inside here. And just press that down and force the excess glue out. And again, here you see, I don't know if you can see that. That's that angel hair stuff that comes with the super glue, the hot glue, when you pull away from it. And then, of course, the next step is going to be painting this. And I generally go with black. And I'll straighten up the edge. And I'm going to have to do a little bit of filling in, I can see. And for that, I'll just use the hot glue and then trim it to fit. Trim a little bit here as well. But that's a general idea of adding the little around the base so you don't have that cut foam sticking out all over the place. And once again, if I can get in here a little closer along here, this is where the resin will go, and these foam boards will act like a bit of a dam to help keep it from running out and keeping it inside the diorama where you want it to go. So it's a pretty simple process. And this is the first time I downloaded some software. This is actually my cell phone camera that I'm using this time. And I hope it's showing up okay. But I might download and save the video and do some editing and cropping and re-upload it, a little closer look so you can see exactly what was going on. So I hope you enjoyed this video. That's it for now. And stay tuned because there'll be more to come. Thanks for watching.